we can do this right now.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Well, if it came to me like that, I probably that alone would turn me off a little bit. It's like, you know,
sort of thing. I mean, I didn't necessarily care about it, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to feel like that's
that wouldn't be the threesome I'd go for. Like if I had a girl, even if she looked fine or whatever, it's like I'm not into that. Like if it's two women, that would be fine. But like but two guys doing the same girl, nah, I'm good. That's a hard pass on me. But speaking of things that are hard passes and things that people don't, things that, well, yes, it is. Things that people didn't like. The Gray Man. not the whole time. Yeah, it's tasteful. Don't give her. It's tasteful. But we're gonna be talking about the Gray Man.
I feel like there's gonna be like this little gay intro or something like that that has no context behind it.
Nah. We're good.
Yeah, talking about the Gray Man, the Gray Man, Gray,
not the Brown Man. Anyway. But yeah, like I've seen it when it came out. You just now seeing it, and just to let you know before we talk about it, a lot of people online when this movie came out, they said it was generic, it was okay, it was just it was good but not great. You know, they just felt it was mediocre. That's what people were saying about it. Did you get that kind of vibe when you watched it?
Mediocre, like who the fuck is watching these videos saying like having these weird ass reviews? That's mediocre. Like, yeah. Okay, as an action spy movie, yeah. I guess it's comparatively speaking mediocre compared to the new shit that we've had. Like you can't compare this to John Wick, right?
Yeah.
Even John Wick has become mediocre because John Wick 1 and 2 were like easily the best types of spy movies that we've had in a long time. But this is a popcorn action movie.
Yeah.
Don't expect greatness. I don't expect this to be 007.
Yeah.
At the same time, this was better than the last 007 movie.
Yeah, I feel the same way. The last 007, last James Bond movie to me was garbage. And this, I will say, being a fan of the character, like I pull out one of the books right now, it's decent. It was good. Like I didn't, as you were saying earlier, I hated it. No, I loved this movie. I loved it. But not everything has to be like a save the world, stop the nuke plot line to make it interesting. It's the same way. That's the same thing I feel about military thrillers, because that's what I read all the time. And that's the tropes you fall into. Let's stop the terrorists. They have a bomb. You have to disarm the nuke. Or it's like a lot of tropey shit. And this, to me, I thought was good. The only problem I had with it is I think they may have went a little bit too hard when it comes to the characters, like meaning Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling. I think that's the name, right? I think Ryan Gosling, it's like, I get it, that's the character, but I remember you telling me that he plays the same person in every movie, and all that stuff. But like he didn't have the character, so I guess they had to give it to Chris Evans.
Wait, this picture here. This picture here. This
that's him the whole fucking movie.
I said if the Rock's smoldering stare was a person, it would be Ryan Gosling.
Yep. And that's how he is the whole movie. And to me, that was one thing where it's like, okay, like you could add a little bit of character. Like, come on, it's I get it. But that's how the character is in the books. He's more, he's not as talkative and things like that. But
I will say this. That was my first assumption when I saw the trailer.
Mm-hmm. I remember you telling me that.
That has changed since watching the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. Everybody, if you want to compare something to like what the action spy genre, the greatest movie of all time, everyone says Bourne Identity or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't believe. I think the Bourne Identity was amazing for what it was then.
Yeah.
But we can't keep comparing stuff to a movie that's outdated, that has very bad action fighting scenes in it, with a generic plot line of somebody up the food chain is always blah blah blah.
Like I watched that earlier this year, and it's like it has good decent action scenes, but outside of that, it's a dry movie. Even that is. Yeah. So it's just filmography is different.
Generically speaking, the trope in this movie is somebody up the food chain is fucking with somebody on the lower bottom of the chain. That's typical. But there's a lot of mix in here. So like when you look at this, I would literally say I would rather watch this series than a James Bond series again. Because I feel the Gray Man or whatever. I'm like, dope, that's cool. So they put that in there. I really like the chemistry between Ryan Gosling and the chick that was in the movie. I need to start remembering names and not just saying chick because I feel so disrespectful. I loved her character. I love the actress because they did stuff in my favorite movie, Blade Runner, 4788.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
And if I think, talking back to James Bond, I think she was in the last James Bond movie, unless I'm getting my women mixed up. Because remember James Bond went to the thing and they poisoned everybody and she was the Cuban chick? I think that she played in James Bond.
She was.
And then she was only in that movie. She wasn't?
Was she? No,
I don't know. Look it up. Look up just put the new James Bond movie.
Okay. Oh, wait. That was her. Yep.
Okay.
Anna de Armas. Yep, that was her.
Okay.
Wow. I didn't
full circle.
I didn't like that part was in the movie because that was the most exciting part. Yeah. And I feel like if that was the only exciting part about the movie, then the movie's trash.
Yeah.
It can't be one scene in the movie that's like makes the movie.
Yeah, I get you. But like, I also liked her character in The Gray Man. I thought it was great. I mean, I feel like you didn't have to have her character in there, but it kind of it worked that they kind of introduced it and stuff. I like the fight scene when they both had to fight the Indian guy. I thought that was super cool. He was fighting them both off and stuff. It was great.
Yo, made him a badass, dog.
Yeah,
badass. So my thing is like, it wasn't just the character; it was the chemistry between these two people. Mm-hmm. I believe that you did need her, right? Because
you have to give him somebody to bounce off of.
Something, because then there would be no comedy. Most of the comedy shit came from him talking to her. Yeah. Like the best comedy scene was like after that giant ass like fight with the train and everything like that. And she was like, "Are you okay?" He's like,
she pulled up.
Yeah. He's like, "Are you okay?" Like, yeah, I don't know. My ego's a little bruised. You know, I would like a chance to save you for once. You know, but at the same time, I don't want to see you in danger. I was like, dude, I fucking love this guy. Like, you don't see Ryan Gosling doing a lot of comedy. Like his straight man comedy is perfect. Like he already has that deadpan stare and just say the line. It's in acting, you say that shit all the time. Just say the fucking line. You don't have to add shit to it to be funny. Just say the line. The writing is gonna work for you, and he did it, bro. Yeah. The other part was like, what size shoe are you? he was like, I don't know. Like, he said something like, why? Because I'm about to put my foot in your ass, and he gets shot. Trips over. He was like, it's like a size 11. I was like, dude, I love this so much. I'm like, I hope they have more comedy. And then the other dude, the Chris Evans, the callbacks in the movie are so great. When he first switched clothes, he was like, "You 42 regular?" And he gives him the money, right? And they pull up at the very end, and he's like, he's about to get shot. And he was like, "You a 42 regular?" And I was like, "Oh, I love the comedy." It's like this is what James Bond was missing. Like, you have the little quirks and they're kind of funny, but it's like the comedy is a really good break from the action because James Bond's like talking, boring ass talking. Yeah, politics.
It's a different type of spy. It was more suave. Whereas this isn't suave, but it's just modern, and it's like it's to me, people will call it quippy because that's the age of comedy and Marvel movies and all that stuff now. But I wouldn't call this quippy. It's just decent, good writing. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it's super great, but it's good writing and enough to where you can write a comedic moment without without the audience hearing it as a fucking comedy joke, At
no point was I not bored with this.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, my bad. At no point was I bored with this movie. I was not bored at all. There have been parts in James Bond. I'm like, I'm just waiting on this shit to be done.
Yeah.
Like, can we get to the spy shit, please?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk anymore. This fantastic. I ain't got nothing to say.
Mm-hmm.
Just
like
he fought a dude with a flashlight, bro, and they made it look good.
And it's like, I gotta talk about it. I loved and hated Chris Evans in this movie because it's like I guess with Ryan Gosling they can't have him be that guy. So it's like, yeah, they told Chris Evans, yeah, just go 110%. And I think it works for this movie. It's like I can see how he would get annoying, but I think it works because he played that asshole type character so fucking well. Like when he came in the mansion at the end and the girl kept talking to him, he's like, why are you walking so funny? Cause I got shot in the ass, darling, something like that. So he had those weird, crazy, eccentric moments, and I thought they were at least super funny, and it makes sense for his character.
You know what? When you told me he was eccentric, I thought over the top eccentric, but it wasn't. It was like, okay, I could see the kind of person he's playing. I didn't see anything wrong with that. No. Like he's just, what he reminds me of is the dude in that movie Man Who Fell to Earth. Remember the the white guy. I don't know his name, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah. And that one, that was over the top crazy.
Yeah.
In this one, it's like he's just a quirky dude that doesn't give a shit about anybody. Mm. Like if I had to put these in terms of like D&D characters, he's that chaotic evil.
Yeah.
Whatever happens. And I always plan for this shit too. Like, it's like I love that.
Yeah.
Because he feel like a Bond villain.
It wasn't over the top silly with the tropey stuff and the super villain. He wasn't a super villain. He was just a bad guy, if that makes sense.
He's just a bad guy that expresses himself differently and outwardly than any other character. And I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And they even set this up for a series because they didn't really take out the bad guys, and they already established there's some other bad guys that this guy is getting his intel from. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah,
this is going to be the new Bond series.
And they set him up to be, like at the end of the movie, it's like, oh, he didn't get away either. He's still under control because they can still go and do stuff. I don't want to spoil anything, but they can go still do stuff that we care about. So it's like, okay, he's being forced to work for somebody again. They didn't know he didn't take everybody out.
He's not forced to work for anybody right now.
Remember at the end of the movie, that's why the girl shot him. That's what that was all about.
We didn't keep watching him.
Oh, they had a credit scene or something.
Okay, it's been a while. Fuck spoilers. If you ain't watching,
no. I think I know what you're talking about. Where they locked him up and he broke out. I mean, I do remember that. But what I'm saying is, they can always go and get the girl again. That's what I'm saying. They can always. Why? Why not?
Because the girl is with him.
They can find him and that's the government. They can find him and take him out easy. They may not be able to take him out, but they can take her out.
Yeah,
she ain't gonna be with him her whole fucking life.
Again, like it sets it up for a whole series, but at the same time, it's like.
As they should. I'm glad they didn't end it. Yeah. Because that's how the book series was. Like there was at least when I started reading it, they were probably like 4 or 5 books in. So I hope they do a movie per book and just make 3 really, really good movies. You know. I will say this, if I just had to say one last thing about it. I know it's made by the same people who made Endgame and Winter Soldier. I forget what they called the brothers that made those.
Oh, that's why it felt so familiar.
Yeah.
Like watching it felt like I've seen it before.
Yeah, and that's probably why they got Chris Evans in it. They probably just called him up and was like, hey, look, we're doing this movie. You want to do it? He was like, probably fine. I don't know, but that's what I assume. But I will say the tone of, let's say if I just had to go by their past work, Winter Soldier, the tone of that was more darker, I guess you could say. If I had to quote one thing, is like, I wish this movie had that same tone. But I can see why it didn't. Maybe they wanted to make it a little bit different, maybe its own thing. But that's just because I like those old school political thrillers and stuff like that. So that's just me, but
I hate those things. I get tired. That's all movies are right now. It's political thrillers. And like this, like if this was, because it reminds me too much of like Rainbow Six, like any of the Rainbow series, like any of that shit. I don't want it to be that because we've seen it too many times already.
Yeah.
What's his name? The black dude. Killmonger.
Michael B. Jordan.
You got it. Damn. Michael B. Jordan.
Just think the Bulls. There you go.
Oh yeah.
That took you a minute, huh? You're just like, wait a minute, he didn't play basketball. Oh.
That's exactly how that went in my head too. I was like, I don't remember this nigga playing basketball, especially putting out for the Bulls. Like, oh yeah, Michael Jordan, Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, I get it now. It took a while. They caught up. The hamsters woke up. Anyway, I'm done. Michael B. Jordan talked about it. I love the movie. I'd watch that shit again.
Yeah, me too.
Porn stash and all.
Chris Porn Stash Evans. that could be his new mom. You know, like The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. There you go. Like, what's your name? Porn Stash.
See, now I gotta ask the audience, if you even made it this far, leave the answer in the comments below. Who wore the porn stash better, Chris Evans or what's his name? Superman. What's his name?
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill.
Oh, his digital porn stash?
Yes. No, not that one. It was because that was in the spy movie that he did with what's his face?
The Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
Yeah, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. That was the whole stash where they had to digitally remove. So who did?
No, that wasn't that. No, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. was before that. That was you mean that was Tom Cruise Mission Impossible? That's what that was.
Well, see, that's what I was trying to say. Tom Cruise. Like I didn't remember that.
No. It was Henry Cavill was the character with the mustache, but he was in Mission Impossible.
He was in the movie with the stash, dog. Like, stop making this more complicated than it has to be. No, you saw Henry Cavill with the fucking porn stash, just like you saw Chris Evans with the porn stash. Who did it better? That's all I'm asking. Who did it better?
I don't know. They were both sharp.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill loaded the guns though.
Who wore the stash better? That's all I'm asking.
All right, YouTube.
I'm gonna say Chris Evans.
I'm gonna say Henry Cavill. There you go. Later, YouTube.